everyone, it's Tamara. I know I haven't been around very much lately, but I've had a few things I've been working through. You may remember me mentioning in the past that one of the things I struggle with is depression, and it tends to come and go. And a few weeks ago, it came back with a vengeance, and I was going to talk about that a little bit today. Today's a good day. I'm hoping I'm coming through the end of this, cycle of depression. I don't know if cycle is the right word, but I'm hoping I'm at the tail end of this and starting to feel a little better. For me, one of the things I do when I'm in depression is go into what I call my hibernation mode. And when I'm hibernating, I have a hard time reaching out to people or wanting to interact with people very much. So I haven't really felt like making videos or doing much of anything else. And I'm not really sure what to talk about with this. So Fred is here helping me out. He's recording for me. And if he thinks of any questions or things, you'll hear him in the background asking me a question or bringing up something that we had talked about that I wanted to mention.
Talk about I know you deal with anxiety as well. Talk about that a little bit and how that differs and how that ties in with your depression.
Yeah, that's a good one. I tend to notice my anxiety is the first sign that I'm about to hit a depressed period. And for me, the closest I can think of that it feels like is I start to feel like I imagine I would feel if there were zombies outside my house trying to break in, just a feeling of panic, and I can feel it in my stomach. And I know when I talked to Fred about this, what would he do if there were zombies trying to break into the house? He would go into fight mode. And for me, instead of fight or flight, I actually tend to freeze. So I notice my stomach is upset and I almost have a paralyzed feeling where I can't do very much. It's just as far as I find it hard to do very much as far as really almost anything, whether it's making a phone call or spending time with someone or just your basic, getting stuff done around the house or any sort of job. I just feel very paralyzed. And after maybe 5 days of that, then I start to feel depressed. And I feel a weight on me where it's just, I feel like I'm walking through oatmeal. Everything is so hard to do. Getting dressed is hard. Cooking a meal is hard. I don't want to do anything but lay down and not talk to anyone. And I tend to sleep a lot more. I'll maybe go to bed around 7 or so at night and just sleep a lot. And I don't know, Fred, do you think that usually lasts maybe 2 or 3 weeks? Does that sound about right? He's nodding his head, which you can't see unless maybe you saw the phone move a little bit when he nodded. So that seems to be how my depression and anxiety goes. And sometimes I have a trigger for it, something sad has happened or something that would make me feel anxious, but a lot of times there is no reason for it. And I don't really think there was a reason this time.
Well, how long have you had this? How long have you dealt with this? How long have you struggled with this? In what ways have you tried to treat or help yourself with it?
Okay. I think I started feeling depressed probably in my late teens or early 20s. And for a long time, the only way I dealt with it was just being in denial and kind of beating myself up a lot. You know, if I just try harder, if I'm a better person, if I pray more, have more faith, then I'll conquer this. And that doesn't work, because this is a result of a chemical imbalance in my brain. And so, it was after we were married, Fred. I think maybe 10 years ago, I started taking antidepressants, maybe. He's nodding again, maybe around there. And I would take them for a while, and then I would feel better. And I would say, hey, I don't need to take my antidepressants anymore. Not realizing that the reason I felt better was because I was taking them. And so I did that multiple times, because I saw taking antidepressants as a personal failure. And it took me a lot of time to work through that. And one of the doctors that I have seen over the years told me, you know, it's a lot like diabetes, except in your brain. You don't look at someone with diabetes as a personal failure for taking medication or needing insulin, because they're having an imbalance in their body. And he told me I have an imbalance in my brain, and that there's nothing to be ashamed of or embarrassed of if I need a medication to help take care of that. So since that time, I've been a lot better, and I've been on antidepressant medication. And it's been a little bit of a struggle trying to fine tune it and figure out the right dosage since my surgery. So one other thing that I just started doing, I just saw a therapist for the first time to talk about my depression and also other issues that have come up with losing weight. And because it is very much a mental struggle as well as a physical struggle with losing weight. So I'm hoping that will help me as well. So anyway, I'm hoping that as I go through and meet with her more, that will help me work through a lot of these issues and help me to learn better coping skills for the times that these episodes come up. One of the things that's really hard with depression is all the things that would help you feel better and the things that I know will help me feel better. When I'm in the middle of a depression, I don't have the energy or the motivation or desire to do any of it. So for example, I know being outside in the fresh air, having some physical activity, those will help me feel better. I know that when I'm depressed. Am I going to do it? Probably not. I know that making sure I take the time to get dressed every day and take care of my physical body, you know, making sure I'm watching what I eat will help me feel better. I know that when I'm depressed. Am I going to do it? Usually not. So it's sort of feeds on itself. The more depressed you are, the less you feel like you can do the things you need to do to overcome it. And the less you do the things you need to do to overcome it, the more depressed you feel. And I honestly don't know what triggers coming out of it either. I just know today I woke up, and for the first time in a long time, I felt pretty good. And Fred and I are out now. We're running a couple errands and got some lunch and ate outside in the fresh air. And hopefully it's going to be the beginning of feeling better and the end of this depression cycle. So anyway, I just wanted to update you and let you know where I've been. And maybe somebody out there hearing this is struggling with depression too. And maybe it'll help you to know you're not alone. Or maybe you have some tips for me. I don't know. But, you know, we made a commitment when we started this channel that we would talk about all the high points and low points of our surgery and our weight loss and life afterwards. And I didn't want to hide a struggle, because I don't want to live with being ashamed of my depression, because I did that for a long time and that was really hard. And I don't want to do that anymore. So anyway, if you've stayed tuned in this whole time, thanks for listening. I hope you're having a good day. And it looks like today I'm going to have one too again. So I'll talk to you soon. Bye.